In this photo, we see someone holding their phone. It's a close up of hands holding an iPhone, and there's a text conversation visible. The messages are between a person and their best friend. Um, the two seem to be talking about another girl in class, uh, apparently Sarah. The two are going back and forth. They're judging Sarah's outfit and her personality and her hair and all these different types of things. And they're making some serious accusations, especially with the last message of she will sleep with her students. That could technically be, a pretty serious accusation if that were to come about. And the two, when they're going back and forth, they use degrading language or shaming language that's meant to describe the girl in question in a very very negative way. And so this photograph kind of looks at the aggression that you might find in what I would call girl world. And to text someone who's presumably your best friend about something outrageous or crazy that you saw is not too out of the blue. And unfortunately, I think that you find a lot of times that sometimes the topic of other people become the topic of the conversation. And that's exactly what's happening in this photograph. And you can see that they're being very judgmental, they're being very harsh and very shaming of this young girl. And unfortunately, I think that that's something that you find a lot in the aggression that you find between women. And so the tone of the photograph is aimed to be aggressive. It's aimed to be judgmental. You can tell that this is not a nice conversation about another girl that they know in class. And it expresses and exposes really the harsh reality of existing in girl world in our society. And so this photograph is just, I think, meant to be an exposure of what it's like to be a girl, almost of what it's like to wear. When someone says, "Oh, did you see so and so? She looked like such a skank," you have to be like, "Oh yeah, she's such a slut," and that you have to go along with it type of sense. And it's just part of what it's like when you're trying to figure out how to get along in this world. And I think that maybe the only thing I would change in the photograph is to maybe be more aware of the environment in the photo. And it seems as if definitely the emphasis of the photo is supposed to be the message conversation between the two girls. And you see the hands, they're almost blocking part of the keyboard. But if this is a text conversation, that seems pretty typical. But you can also see the legs of a person sitting here, and presumably they're sitting on a couch, and this is probably just the floor, and this is probably just more of the couch. But if you want to emphasize and really really emphasize the conversation in this message, it would be less distracting in the photo to maybe take out the elements of things back here in the background that don't really matter or pertain to the photo. And in doing so, you really emphasize that conversation, and you leave out, the rest of the photo that doesn't really give anything to the message that you're trying to send.